Okay, so due to some problems with the annotations and stuff for the last video, I'm going to go ahead and just do this the old-fashioned way and screen share my whole screen. Um, so we're going to start with elements and compounds. Okay, elements are pure substances on the periodic table. They're represented by a symbol. They cannot be separated into simpler substances. Okay, yeah, I have the pen. So elements are things like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, neon. Okay, they're represented by that chemical card or that element card on a periodic table. Compounds are two or more elements chemically bonded in a fixed ratio. They're represented by a formula instead of just a single symbol. They can be separated into simpler substances. These are things like water, H2O. Okay, methane, CH4. Ethane, C2H4. Okay, things like sugar. Okay, caffeine. Those are compounds. Okay. And just some more examples of elements. You have things like iron, silver, gold, oxygen. And then on the right, your compounds, things like water, salt, sugar, and baking soda. Okay, so those are your examples. And so remember, pretty much everything that's in the PowerPoint should be going into your notes. So elements and compounds are governed by a couple of laws. One of those is the law of definite proportions. And it says that a compound's always made of the same elements in the same proportion by mass. Percent by mass is the ratio of mass of each element to the total mass as a percentage. And we represent this mathematically with this expression. Percent by mass equals mass of element divided by mass total times 100. Okay? When you divide, you're going to cancel out your units and you'll end up with just a percentage as your answer. So let's see what that actually looks like with an example problem. Okay, so the 78.0 gram sample of an unknown compound contains 12.4 grams of hydrogen. What is the percent by mass of that hydrogen? So our knowns are 78.0 grams of some compound. Oops, UND, okay, and 12.4 grams hydrogen. Our unknown is our percent by mass hydrogen. Okay. So we're going to do that same equation that you just saw. It's going to be percent by mass, and I'm using shorthand because that's just how I always write my equations out, is the mass of the element divided by the mass total. I put parentheses to remind me to do that first, times 100. Okay, and so now I'm just going to plug in my numbers. So I have 12.4 grams of hydrogen divided by 78.0 grams total. We're multiplying that by 100. And I'm just going to grab a calculator real quick to make my life a little easier. And 12.4 divided by 78 is 0.15, and I'm going to round that to 9. 0.159. And now grams canceled, okay, and these cancel. You don't keep the units. Times 100. And you can do this on a calculator, or you can real simply move that decimal over 2 spots. And so now that's 15.9%, and this is your percent by mass of your hydrogen. So we can fill that in. And now we have our answer. Okay. All right, so practice this, and then the next example is going to be a separate law, and it's specifically for different compounds.